the last lesson in this series. I know, last lesson, bad news. But at the end of this video, I've got some good news, so stay tuned. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to improvise, and we're going to put what we learned in the last lesson into a practical context. So we're going to start playing some cool stuff. Yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So what is improvisation? Improvisation is more or less making up something as you go along, and you can see it's similar to having a conversation with someone. So when you're talking to someone, you're not thinking, oh, I'm gonna say this and they're gonna say that and then I'm gonna say this, because don't think like that. Unless you can predict the future, then please let me know how to do that. Anyways, everyone has a vocabulary, and the larger your vocabulary is, the more colors you can add to a conversation, the more interesting you can make things sound, and yeah, the more you have to say. You know, I sound like a mad scientist now. But you get the picture. Now with music, all you have to do is learn loads of skills, chords and stuff, and how they work together, and then you have a whole vocab ready to play along to and, you know, make up stuff with, right? So that's what improvisation is, making up stuff as you go along. I can hear you asking, what does this have to do with what we learned yesterday? If you do a quick recap, we learned G major pentatonic starting from the 3rd fret of the low E string. So that's going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Then I told you that 8 is the same as 1. So when you hit the octave, which is the 5th fret of the D string, that's the same as 1 again. So you could do 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 from there. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And that's just us extending our major pentatonic scale, so we have more room to move about. Now, with this scale, I want you to see every number as a letter. Nothing to do with the musical alphabet, but if I played 1, that's a letter. If I played 5, that's a letter. If I played 3, that's a letter. Now, when I play multiple letters, let's say 1, 2, 3, that's a word now. If I play 5, 6, 5, that's another word. If I do 6, 1, 1, 3, 3, that's another word. And when you put words together, you get a sentence, right? So and when you have enough sentences, you get paragraphs, and if your paragraph makes sense, then you've got a story going, right? Eventually you can write novels, and you get the picture. Link it to what a language is, right? Because music is a language in itself. You've got letters, which makes words, which makes sentences, and then you can tell your own story with it and express yourself. The exercise we're going to do is something called call and response, and essentially all I'm going to do is ask you a question on my guitar. I'm going to play any sentence with 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then your job is to make a response. So for an example, I'll just do this. That's my question. Your answer could be slide into 3 2 times. Then I'll ask you another question. And then your answer could be 5, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Then I'll ask another question. Your answer could be 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 3. Then I'll ask another question, and I'll make it interesting. And then your answer could be literally anything. Just use the skill that's on the screen, right? And if you want to go further, you learn hammer-ons, slides, and pull-ups. So instead of just picking the notes, maybe slides for a note. You might think, oh, 3 sounds really nice. Oh, 6 sounds really nice. Oh, if I pull up to 2, it sounds really cool. And yeah, just make your own. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm holding down rhythm guitar for this. We're gonna practice that call and response thing. When I close my fist, that means I'm about to ask a question, so stop playing. But when I open my hand like this, that means it's your turn to answer and play whatever you want. Good luck, have fun with it. Remember to add slides, hammer-ons, pull-ups, and make it as interesting as possible. Sorry about that. So see if you can start asking yourself the questions and asking yourself the responses, giving yourself the answers, call and response between yourself. You might think sliding to 3 sounds nice. Maybe slide to 3 and then play 5. Maybe do in the next octave. Then I'm gonna ask you another question. I'll ask you another question. That was almost alright. Alright, go for it now. Just play your heart out. I'll ask you another question. What's your favorite ice cream? Okay, so the song's calmed down now. See if you can play a little lighter. Play a bit more gently. Well done. Replay this as many times as you have to. Get used to that call and response thing and just improvising, to be fair. Make up your own stuff and see what sounds nice to you. No one can copy you better than you, so yeah, have fun with it and well done. I'll upload the video of the backing track after this so you could just play along and you don't have to look up every 2 seconds to see if I'm doing this or not. Some final remarks. I'll give you some tips for improvising first. So when it comes to improvising, don't worry if you make a mistake. 99% of the time, you're the only person that heard the mistake, and if it is that bad, you can just repeat the mistake and call it jazz. No one will argue with you, and if they do, then you're just gonna look like a knob. But don't worry, you're never gonna see that person again. Or you might do. Be like a child with it. So you know how a kid will pick up a toy car and pretend it's a spoon or a shovel? Do the same thing with 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. You've got hammer-ons, you've got slides, you've got pull-offs. Experiment with all of them. Get to different notes in different ways. You can slide to notes, hammer onto notes, pull off to notes. Anything, just make it as interesting as possible, and you're only limited by your own creativity, so make it as creative as possible so that you'll never get bored when you're playing. Cool. So at the start of the video, I said the bad news is that it's the end of this series. Boo. But the good news is this: I'm starting a project called Guitar Alchemy. Now, Guitar Alchemy will basically teach you how to navigate the fretboard, how to build chords from scratch, how to play with chords in a key, like I'm doing right now. So you can just start making your own songs and, you know, maybe write your own guitar solo. Because everyone's always asking me, how do I just play and just know what I'm doing? How do I make up chords on the spot and so on? This will teach you how to do that, and I'll teach you how to improvise as well, so you can go further than pentatonic and do other skills. you'll be the coolest person in the room, and you get access to a Discord community, so you can ask me anything, and I'll give you personalized feedback. The link's in the description, so sign up. I'll see you there, and yeah, thank you for joining me on this series. This is my first series, my first little course. I might put it on Udemy, I don't know. But when I get better equipment, I'll go back and make some of the videos better quality. And yeah, I'll see you in Guitar Alchemy in the laboratory. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend, wherever you are. And cool. I'm not that good with intros, and I'm not good with goodbyes as well. I'm just gonna go. Peace.